Hello everyone, this is Iman Ali and I have made this video to help you go about your GP group project, as I do know that it is one of the most challenging part of the course. It won't be difficult if you are focused, committed, organized and cooperative with your fellow group mates. So without further ado, let's get started. The group project comprises of two elements, a group element and an individual element. In a group element, there are three basic stages: plan, process, and outcome. I usually prefer going through the syllabus that helps me with my course. So whatever you're doing in your GP course, be it your group project or your individual project, do go through the syllabus. It will really help you and guide you to doing the right thing. Now, the group element, as we know, the first stage is planning. In the planning, you must have a detailed rationale and aims of the project. Okay, so you might have heard your teacher telling you to make a mind map, right? So let's check out the mind map that me and my group had made. These are the basic things you need in your mind map. Our topic was breast cancer awareness. So you must have your rationale, your aim. What is your aim of this project, of the topic you've chosen? Then the roles and responsibility. Now you must have at least 3 or 4 members, right? One of them will be the leader, the other should be the scribe, while the other 2 or the one could be a photographer or whatever you would like to give your teammates. Then the planner. Now this planner is what you have planned in the initial stage. Like as you've made the group, you might have many plans as you go about your group, right? So keep them all here. At the end of your project, you will then evaluate what were the things that we were able to achieve and what were the things we couldn't achieve that we had planned. Then also evaluate the reasons for not being able to achieve them. Okay, then you should have a field study. This is basically what you're going to do and how. So, for example, you're going to go to visit some hospitals or universities, write them down. Then if you're going to interview, who are your targeted audience to interview? Then what are the types of informations you're going to collect and how? Then we have the evidence. The evidence is how you're going to record all that you do throughout your project. It could be videos, it could be any audio, any picture, poster, anything. Write them down. Then we have outcomes. Now an outcome doesn't necessarily have to be one, but it is usually preferred to have one main outcome. But that doesn't restrict you. You may have more than one and do record them. Then we have the cross-cultural. Cross-cultural is basically your interaction with other cultures or other people from outside the area, like outside the country. That's cross-cultural. So how are you going to connect with these people is all that you're going to mention here. This is pretty much about the planning. Okay. Then we have the process. Process contains everything from A to Z you do in your project. Okay, you need to keep the evidence of every small thing. Okay, so in the process you would have all the information you've gathered, okay, all the group activities you've done, all the individual activities. Maybe group activities could be like you have planned to do a presentation, okay, or a campaign. That's your group activity. Individual contribution, this is what you will write in detail in your individual element, what as an individual you have done in the project, and the resources used and the reference. Now I'll just show you a sample of the project me and my teammates had done. Our topic was breast cancer awareness, and this is the main folder, the group evaluation, the main document in which we've comprised everything. The project plan, we've given a short plan of what our aim was, what was our topic, why we chose the topic, and who was our target audience. Then we prepared a few key research questions. This helped us to stay focused. This helped us to know what exactly we need to do, what exactly we need to cover up. Okay. Then we had a project outcome. Now we had basically 4 outcomes, but our main outcome was our blog or the website, because alternately the other 3 outcomes were all put into the blog. I'll show you later what all other outcomes we had, but you're not restricted to this. You can have more than 1 outcomes. Then we had roles and responsibility. You may go through this format as well, and because all this has been taken from the syllabus, I've referred it from the syllabus. Roles and responsibility, we were 3 members, what each one of them had done. Then we have the project development. This is what we did every week. This is just a small, a very brief idea of what we have done. Later we will evaluate all this in detail. Project development. Okay. Then we had cross-cultural links. This is how we communicated with people from other culture or people from other country. It's all we have written here through Facebook, okay, through our brochure, through our Skype, all that. And last we had an evaluation of what all things went good in our group and what we could have done, or what things we couldn't be able to do. This is our evaluation. Then okay, so this all was cover up, but you can also have evidences like pictures and all in separate folder. Okay, now coming to the outcome, which is the last part. For the outcome, we made another document where we had all 4 outcomes: our blog, our campaign. See, we have mentioned here to refer to our evidence folder for our pictures, okay, posters, our brochures. We also organized an awareness assembly, and we also gave reference to check the pictures in the evidence folder. And we had also contacted with an organization called Protect Your Mom Campaign, and the evidence are given here. This is our outcome. Our main outcome was the blog, because all the others were all put into our blog. And as I told you, you should keep the evidence of every single thing. So I'll just show you how we maintained our folder. See, this is how we maintained our folder. As I got to know that when some of you guys saw this folder, you were really confused at what we guys had done here, but we didn't do anything. We just compiled every single detail of our project. See, here are the pictures of our assembly, our campaign, posters. These were the posters we made. Okay, then we have small essays, 2 to 3 lines telling about each of our activity. Our brochure, we made a logo, how we made it. Then some pictures. Survey, we had the survey, but then what to do with the survey? We wrote an essay telling what we had done with the essay. With the survey. Okay, we evaluated the survey which we had conducted in the school. Then from that, what we got to know. That's what we had done here. Okay, that's basically, it's not that much. Then coming to the last part, which is the outcome. Now, in your outcome, okay, I've already told you the outcome. Okay, but there's one more thing I wanted to tell you, is that you must also tell where you have referred these all this information, right? You have to give reference and where you have compiled. So we made a folder called appendix here. Here we have given reference to our blog, our Facebook, all the resources we used, our survey. All the links are here. Okay, then we made a short tutorial, we gave link for that, we had a Skype interview and all that. This is the a short overview of or links to our resources. And also you must have information regarding your project. For example, our project was about breast cancer awareness, so we had looked for information, or we had interviews, right? And we collected lots of information. We compiled all that into our blog, where we had a page called information or research, and we had all the information gathered over there. Okay, so this is pretty much about the group element. You must have initially you must have a plan. What is the topic you're deciding to do? And yes, please consider that you should not have, none of your members should have this topic as their individual project. Okay, for example, if you're taking on urbanization, then none of your group members should have this as a topic. So you need to plan out the topic, what is the concern, okay, you're going to research on. Then you should also plan out what things you should do, throughout the project. What can you do throughout? For example, campaigns, any assembly or anything like that. You must write plans for that. Start doing your research. Look for people to interview. Look for good websites for your blog. Make a Facebook page or whatever. Outcome, plan out what outcomes you need. How are you going to finally make your outcome? Okay, all that. Cross-cultural is really important. How are you going to collaborate with people from other country, other culture, and all that? Okay, this was pretty much about the group element. Now we'll come to the individual element. Individual element is now one document, okay, that every member makes, and it contains your contribution as an individual, also your evaluation, your personal evaluation on your project. The group element was a complete group work, okay, where you sit together, you evaluate the whole thing together. But now, after you're done with your group project, it's your turn to evaluate what part you played and what were the things you felt were done best, or things that could have been done better. There are three main things you need to do: the project plan and process, the project outcome, you need to evaluate all this, and your own contribution, including cross-cultural. You can see that cross-cultural is really essential in your project. Again, for the individual element, I referred the syllabus here. Also, for the group element, it's better if you refer to your page 27, where you have 4 bands, and you should try to make your project fall on band 4. So go through what all points, what all things are required, and accordingly plan your whole project. Again, with individual elements, that's what I did. I went through band 4. I took down main points that my evaluation should have, and after that I compiled it. I made notes, and then I made a plan. Okay, after I went through the notes here in the band 4, I wrote short notes in a plan, okay, in a document here. For example, role. What was my role? Now, as I was doing the project, I wrote down what were my roles, what were my contribution. I wrote them down. Just ignore the scribblings for now. Okay, I wrote them into points. What were the strong points? Every time we had a major project, major outcome, after that I evaluated what were the major strong points, my strong points and the group's strong points. Okay, as a team, how was my team? How was it organized? How was the leadership? Okay, me being the leader, I evaluated myself as a leader. What were the problems we faced? All that. These headings, you will find it from your syllabus. Okay, why I did all this? I wrote these points so that it could help me to make my final individual element. Now that I have all my points in place, I then used it in my individual element in this document. And as I prepared this document, I stroke off all the points that were covered. Okay, so I wrote essays and all the points that were covered, I stroked them off. And finally, this was the individual element that was produced. This is my way of doing it. You might have different ways, but this is what I did, and it really helped me. It was, what do you say? It was effective and it was efficient. See, project plan and process. Here, did I have? Here, see. Project plan and process should have about the team, the problems and solution, and I further what do you say, divided them into topics. Then I wrote about project plan and process here. What were the ups and downs and the strong points of the group? It is more about the group here. Okay, and then here about project plan and process. Second, we have the project outcome. We had 4 outcomes, so I evaluated all the 4 outcomes. How were they, what were they, all the summary. Individual contribution and learning, this is the third part. What was my contribution? So as a leader, what I did. Then I also handled the technology part, most of the technology part, like making posters, e-posters, e-brochure, the blog and stuff like that. I evaluated all that here. The survey, organizing events, as I was responsible for looking for events and organizing them, I also wrote them down. Then cross-cultural, what role I played, or rather how was the cross-culture. Okay, that is the evaluation here. What would I feel about the cross-cultural, what I learned from the cross-culture. Then what I learned throughout this project at the end. Okay, in fact at the end, what is my experience, and from my experience what I have learned. Okay, and at the end I've also written my future plans, that if I want to take it further, or maybe things that we couldn't do, then I would love to do them. These are your future plans, and that's the end of your individual element. So I guess I've covered up most of it. At the end, before I conclude, I want to leave you with a very strong suggestion, and it's up to you if you take it. It's good for you. Okay, it's in fact an advice, and the advice is to use 3 main resources. Okay, these 3 things are, believe me, are a blessing, because these were the 3 things that I used and it really helped me. First is the syllabus. Thoroughly, okay, use at least 2 to 3 days and thoroughly go through the syllabus. If you want, it's good if you can take printout of the important pages and highlight the things you must consider, or write down notes what all things you must do. Please go through the syllabus. Okay. Second is your GP book, textbook. Okay, I know it's just 1 year. Maybe if you're in 11, you might be thinking, oh, it's just a few months and it's a waste, but believe me, it's not. It really helped me in my group project and more in my writing, because here they give you like how you can develop your skills, and it really helped me in my written paper. If you want, you can ask the old students to get you guys the books, but please do buy or get the book. Refer the book. And third, most importantly, is your teacher. Okay, because we last year, okay, we did not have a teacher, but despite of that, we still used to go and speak to other GP teachers whenever we had free time. In fact, whenever I had a free time, and it really helped me. Okay, so if you have a teacher, it's a blessing. Do refer with your teacher. Sit with your teacher, ask her, these are the plans, these are the things, should we do this, how can we improve ourselves, and all the things. Okay, consult her. If you use these three things, I can guarantee you will get A to A star. If you use these three things efficiently, and if you take the project, the whole course seriously, A star is guaranteed. That's it for now, friends. I hope that this video was helpful to you. And don't worry, it's going to be really fun. The group project especially is really fun, although it gets a little hectic, but just remember it's going to be a good experience and it's going to help you out, and just enjoy the course. That's all. Thank you for listening and wishing you all the best for your GP project and everything. Bye bye.